What is up, guys? It's Wednesday night, and I am Craig Kelly, your host of Lowdown. Tonight, joining me are Krista. Paul's going to do a run-in later on. Tonight, we're going to talk about all the usual stuff. We've got a little bit extra as well that we're going to call one of our hashtags that we've been using for a while, and we're going to read out some of your tweets that you used with it. Don't forget, if you're listening to this, you can always get us on levelsofwrestling.podbean.com, where you can hear ourselves, Wrestle Addicts, Ringside Ramblers, Just Saying, and Minor Carnage. You can also download our app from the Google Play Store, which is completely free to download, so I don't know why you wouldn't. And of course, next week we have our 1-year anniversary show, and Gunnar from TNA, or former TNA employee, sorry, is going to be joining us. We're going to ask him all the questions you want to ask. We're going to ask some of our own, and we're going to try to give you as many answers as we can and as much time with them as possible. So please join us for that, and don't forget, guys, we do this because we care about you. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
Good.
Wow.
How are you? Good.
I love the positivity, Chris. Yeah. Such good moments tonight. I'm not going to bullshit around it, guys. Raw this week was kind of half-assed. There was 2 moments that I personally felt invested in, and I'm imagining it's mostly the same moments as everyone else. So, in short, was this the worst Raw of the year?
No. Surprisingly not.
Okay.
Not quite, but close.
At least this had a good match in there, a good pay-per-view worthy level match.
I would definitely say I had the pay-per-view level match. Cena and Cesaro literally tore the roof off the place. It was great.
You can tell that they were feeling it because when Cesaro flipped the bird. That's how you know he was feeling it.
Okay, so let me ask you. Did Cesaro flip the bird at Cena, or did he flip the bird about the brass ring?
The idea that he used his ring finger, I like referring to the brass ring, but I think it was more of a general... they said it's not acceptable to swear, so he's done the next best thing instead. I also think it's come down to a simple matter of, heat at the moment sort of thing. Uppercut, 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 do something cool.
Okay. Krista, what's your thoughts on it? Was it an FU to Cena, so to say? Or was it just, a casual thing like Chris is saying in that kind of heat of the moment?
Well, it could be a little of both.
I don't necessarily feel like...
In a gesture like that, like timing is everything. So it could be at Cena. It could be at, like you said, the brass ring in general.
I don't necessarily feel like it's aimed at Cena purely because Cena's had now 2 5-star matches with Cesaro. And I don't necessarily feel like he'd had any real reason to flip the bird to Cena.
Fair enough.
I feel it'd be more one of those heat at the moment / well, obviously, now that we can clearly see that he's used his ring fingers, the brass ring.
I think a lot of it's perception, but to me, it was one of those things where it doesn't matter what it was because it gained him attention. So long as it gains him attention, that's always a positive thing.
It doesn't matter what it was because the fans popped.
Yeah, exactly. To me, I personally think it was a bit of an FU to Cena, but it was definitely the FU to the brass ring. I'd love to think as well in the next couple of months, maybe we see Cesaro do something new. Maybe we see Cesaro in a situation where he could be in the title picture properly. I know Cade over at Mind of Carnage definitely had a view that it was more of a brass ring type of thing. If you're listening tonight, guys, let us know. What do you think it was? Was it a brass ring thing, or was he giving the fingers to Cena? Tweet us in. Alternatively, if you're watching on YouTube, you can actually comment, and we should be able to see the comments live on the show for a change. So that's a bit of a bonus too.
Oh yeah.
So with all aspects to Raw, though, although there was less Seth Rollins, I don't know if you guys feel the same as I do, but I kind of felt the Seth Rollins promo at the beginning of the show was, it was a bit out of place. There was really no need for the Cadillac to come out unless it's sponsorship, because that was awful.
It was blatantly sponsorship, and I think that was done intentionally as sort of a... I think I'm almost wondering if this is Triple H being Triple H and seeing that, oh, there's too many adverts in Raw.
Well, I mean, we could only hope, really.
And he seems like this kind of guy who would do that to troll. I mean, his comment 2 years ago, a year and a half ago now, about me and my friend Mark are going to stop watching, He seems to be like to take pot shots. I wouldn't be surprised if that was another one.
I don't like the pot shotting thing. I mean, to
So
me,
do I.
it's just one of those things that people, they pick up on it. The IWC in particular, a casual fan's not going to see that, so maybe it's just a nod towards something like that. But definitely the advertising, that does my head in. The only advertising I've ever loved in wrestling was when it was like a pay-per-view and it's like, SummerSlam, presented by Chef Boyardee, meatballs in a can. All that kind of shit. I miss that personally, especially at pay-per-views. I'm sick of hearing like, here, drink Mountain Dew Kickstart because Jerry Lawler drinks it and he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good for your business.
Not a great advert, to be honest. But I was impressed with the Seth Rollins promo. To be honest, I felt like he picked up the slack from the last couple of weeks where the promos have been nah.
There's no one else bugged by the fact that suddenly J&J and Kane are back by his side. They've made it seem like Kane can be bought out. When the fuck did that happen? That really gets, it gets under my skin. It's just not cool that they've taken this monster and they've said, hey, look, you're corporate now, so you like money.
Hey, give me an Apple Watch and pay for my holiday to Hawaii, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Pay for my holiday to Hawaii and give me an Apple Watch and I'll be best friends with anyone. I don't give a shit. Quite frankly, yeah. Why not?
I mean, I would love to think that Kane maybe turned it down, or at least shot the idea down backstage, but it's a horrible situation.
I'm a fan of the I think they should have put more emphasis on Brock Lesnar being the threat that united them more than anything. Because at the moment it felt like it was they've come back for no real reason. Seth Rollins wants them back, but they have no reason to want him. If you'd have had Lesnar go after all of them, because they all helped screw him, that'd be more interesting.
You know what I would love as well is if they could sort themselves out and kind of give us the payoff that I know a lot of people are hoping for with Kane and Brock Lesnar. No one's kind of mentioned that The Undertaker hasn't been, on Raw since then. He's not seen Brock since then, but Kane has. And Kane's done nothing about it. And this was a streak that Kane was meant to have beaten as well. So why has no one stepped up and said this?
Yeah, I have to admit this comes down to continuity, and I'm not. It's something that will probably be brought back to over the next few years, but I don't expect it to be something that is necessarily in the limelight.
Okay. Krista, what's your thoughts? Do you want to see Kane go after Brock Lesnar, or do you want to see them do the polar opposite and run away from each other like, every other WWE story?
I wouldn't actually mind seeing Kane face off against Brock Lesnar. I think it'd be a hoot, but only if he's wearing the mask. I don't want to see corporate Kane face off against Brock Lesnar. That's cheap. But if you have he's in the mask and he's completely out of control, I would love to see that. I don't want to see them run away from each other because that's friggin' boring. 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 Boring.
You know what? A feud I want to see?
Go for it.
Beast versus the Demon. Lesnar versus Balor.
No, don't do this.
Just say.
No,
Just say.
no, not now.
Oh, not now. In a few years' time, maybe.
Cool. We've just had a tweet in as well from James Belmont who says, does anyone else think that the brass ring is nothing but an illusion? I think that's pretty much a given, James. I would hope that Vince doesn't literally hand you a brass ring every time you do something good. I mean, if not, Triple H has a bag full of them. So he'd probably sell that and make more money.
Cena probably built his house out of them.
Cena has a car and a house built out of brass rings.
Seems legit.
I could see that kind of shit happening. I mean, if you're pretentious enough. Following on from Raw, I'm struggling at the minute. I don't know about you guys, but I'm struggling to keep up with Raw and be entertained by it, just because every week kind of seems to be far too similar, or at least phoned in.
Yeah,
That's why I PVR it.
This is why when I watch it live, I tend to just have it in the background. I'll pull up if there's an interesting match like seeing a Cesaro. Otherwise, I don't really watch. I'll always watch the US Open Challenge. I'll watch anything with the US Open Challenge with Kevin Owens or with, well, Lesnar, yeah.
Okay. Just quickly as well, I hope I don't say this wrong, and I'm so sorry if I do. Eric Van Dijimi, I assume I said that wrong, said that Kane versus Lesnar is long overdue, and the only time they've been in a match is actually the Royal Rumble 2003.
Interesting.
So they were actually only in a Royal Rumble together. Have they never actually been in an official match? That's crazy.
That's impressive almost.
What I would like to think that they would do something with that, especially if that's the case.
Coming up soon.
To me,
Lesnar will get screwed out of the title and he'll go after Kane.
yeah, do you know what? Have Lesnar retire Kane. I've been saying this for a while. Make him look like that beast. We've all seen him beat the dead man, so why can't he beat Kane? You know, it makes sense. If you want to do it seriously, let's do a buried alive match. Make sure the demon doesn't come back. Or you bury this Kane and maybe the demon then comes back. I mean,
Interesting.
in a dream world, if I was to book this, I have Brock Lesnar bury Kane, and then both Kane and The Undertaker come after Lesnar as the dead man and the masked Kane. That's how I would do it. But it doesn't need to happen in such a way that there needs to be a definite winner or a definite loser. It just makes for interesting story and progression. Obviously, Undertaker's not going to be there for a prolonged time, but I would love to think that we get that kind of payoff. And to think that those two haven't done anything since 2003 is crazy.
I am interested to see. Something that's been discussed with me was a Seth Rollins versus Triple H thing that's going to go down at SummerSlam. Or may not go down at SummerSlam, depending.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting thought that occurred was, what if Sting helped out Rollins, just making him face?
Wouldn't that make Sting heel? If
No,
Brock Lesnar... Oh, no, if it's Triple H and Rollins...
Let's say if Triple H goes for a sledgehammer and the lights go out, Sting appears, takes the sledgehammer off him, turns around, Rollins hits him with pedigree.
Yeah, maybe. I'd be okay with that. But then that leads to yet another Sting Triple H match, not a Rollins Triple H match. Krista, what do you think? Do you want to see, Sting show up again at SummerSlam?
No, not really.
I don't necessarily think it leads to a... I think it leads to a confrontation. I don't think it leads to a match.
Him showing up here and there doesn't do anything for me because there's nothing coming from it.
Yeah, I kind of feel as well that he should definitely be there more prominently.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, a random Sting sighting. Big yabba dabba doo. That's so
yeah, Sting is like Bigfoot.
Yeah. It's random. It's hey, we got nothing better to do, so we're going to put Sting in there, and everybody's going to go crazy. And not really. The man's 55 years old, and he's wearing face makeup and over his soul patch.
Hey, that soul patch is awesome, and you know it.
Not if you wear face makeup, it isn't.
Because
it just highlights the hair.
Yeah, it's okay to highlight hair sometimes. I mean, there's guys, is it New Japan? Koya is doing it. I mean, he does his whole face and his beard. Like, he paints, like, the full beard. And that's really bad, I did it again. I talk with my hands, and I'm acting out like he's painting his beard, and you guys can't see that.
Great, he painted his beard. And he's copying Sting, so he's really not original.
No, I don't mean it's original. I mean, like, when he highlights the beard hair, though, it looks okay.
Yeah.
I
figure if you're going to highlight the beard, then you need to be, like, really out there Like one of those Pirates of the Caribbean where you get shit smoking from it.
That'd be really cool, actually. I'd love to see a wrestler come to the ring with that kind of stuff. I think a lot of people forget as well, though, to have that, we would need to have, like, suspension of disbelief again, which is something I think a lot of fans really struggle to have nowadays. I mean,
Something. I was going to say, on that topic, did anyone see the Big Show interview?
No, not yet.
no, not yet, but go ahead.
Big Show admitted for the first time pretty much ever in an interview that the whole thing with Lesnar collapsing in the ring was fake.
Yeah, I read that.
First time he's admitted it.
I think it's crazy that he would come out and admit it, because that's like quite a big moment for that era.
Well, even he said, you know, the entire point of the thing at the time was the only reason he didn't tell the truth beforehand was suspension of disbelief.
Right, so why do it now? I mean, to me, if there's some things that should be kept, you know, under wraps. Eric Van Dijme, again, says, I would rather see Sting than most of today's roster, to be honest. I can kind of agree. There's a lot of the lower card and mid card that I don't want to see. But I don't know if I would
everybody wants to see the low card.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could see Sting, though, all that often on TV. Like, he is one of those special names now.
Well, yeah, it should be like a treat.
Well, it's almost like the way they were using Bray Wyatt for a while. I mean, Bray was literally just appearing sporadically, and it was pissing fans off more than anything.
Better than having him consistently lose. That never seems to do anyone any...
James Beaumont then says, I think they blew it with Sting after making him lose at Mania with no rematch, or even hinted at where he goes from there. I don't think they ruined it with the no rematch, but I do agree that they ruined it by not having anywhere to go with it. I know he cut a promo on the network and they made it exclusive, but to those fans who might not have had the network at the time, which was quite a lot of fans, they're not going to see that. And that's one of the risks that you take with the network, especially with the exclusive-only stuff. For me, stuff like NXT is fine, but when it's interviews and things that make sense, storyline, don't put them on the network unless you're 100% certain that people are going to buy into it. I've got to ask, guys, what was your pop and heat of the week? I know it's early, but what have we got?
Well, I think the pop of the week's fairly obvious. It's Cena Cesaro. Not really a lot else that we can really say, I think, at this particular point.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say I had a pop. I did like some of Raw, but I don't think I enjoyed enough of it to have a full pop. Which is really kind of sad. I mean, really, I know tonight there's there's Lucha Underground, there's NXT, there's all these things happening, and I would much rather watch Lucha Underground and NXT than I would, watch the side stuff that's going on in WWE on Raw. In fact, I even looked at the spoilers for this week's SmackDown and went, that looks better than Raw.
Yeah, it's one of those, really. It's NXT at the moment, NXT for a while, to me, has been more interesting than Raw. I'm not sure why particularly. It's just one of those things.
I don't know how you guys are feeling about it, but we've had a question come in as well about who do we see Undertaker facing at WrestleMania 32? Do you see him facing anyone? Do you see him showing up at all?
No.
Oh, so you don't see him showing up at all, like, for the event?
Nope.
Wow. See, I came to the conclusion that obviously with this being in Texas and kind of near his home, they're going to at least have him make an appearance, and they might tease something. But I don't know if they're going to have a full match with him. I think this year was literally a way of putting Bray over without letting him win.
Austin or Michaels?
Which one shows up, you mean?
Yeah, Austin or Michaels will turn up. If Taker doesn't have a match, he won't turn up.
I
Because the expectation for Taker exists that if he shows up, he's having a match.
Yeah, pretty
Yep.
much. That's the thing. Is if he's there, he's going to have a match.
Right.
I would quite like him to have a moment like he did on Raw 1000.
They wouldn't waste his one appearance at WrestleMania for that.
I don't know. I think they could. I mean, especially if it's his hometown and he gets put into the Hall of Fame.
I could see him being there at the Hall of Fame, but I can't see him like the Undertaker making an appearance, full gear and whatnot, and entrance at WrestleMania. I just don't see it.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, thank you for the question, but there's not so much we can say. We do have someone else tweeting to us saying he's got to show up in Texas. I'd love to think that like he does show. We'll just need to wait and see. It's far too early to speculate. I know this happens every single year. Like, we'll get to SummerSlam and someone will be like, Undertaker rumored for WrestleMania. Steve Austin rumored for WrestleMania. CM Punk returning at WrestleMania.
Oh,
You know-
that'll be the best one.
Shut up, Chris.
Oh, CM Punk's gonna return. Oh. Yeah, sure he is. Man's not contracted to the UFC or anything right now.
No, not at all. I mean, imagine he does show up. Guys, I meant to ask at the very beginning of the show, what is your favorite wrestling moment ever? I know this is something we get asked quite a lot on Twitter. What would you say is like your favorite moment? Not like the most standout, but your personal favorite. Krista, do you want to go first?
Not particularly,
Okay, Chris.
but I will.
Okay, go for it then.
I'd have to say it's when Owen Hart and Bret Hart faced off at WrestleMania. That was my favorite moment.
I was gonna say it's probably quite a lot of people's favorite moments. I know definitely one of the better matches that when you ask someone their top 10 matches, it's always at least within the top 5.
Well, and that's just it, because you can tell that they were having a good time. Here's two brothers that have come up through the system, and here is their opportunity to, be with each other in the ring, which is not an opportunity they probably got a lot of, sadly, because Owen passed away. But I think for me, it's a good moment. It was one of my favorite moments to watch these two men who, grew up in the business, just, have a good time. It was WrestleMania 10, as I remember.
Chris, what was your favorite moment?
I do not have one. I can't pick a single moment and say, oh, that was my absolute favourite moment ever. I'm not one of those people. To me, there's a lot of individual moments that I think were awesome. I mean, even things like Triple H saying, me and my friend Mark are gonna start watching. There are little things that come to mind depending on what mood I'm in. I can't really think of one particular thing that always stands out though.
Okay. I know for me, I've said it before, it's probably still got to be that Jeff Hardy Undertaker match on Raw with the Undisputed title. But for me, it's one of those great moments because JR sold the crap out of that match. Like, I've never watched a match where I've got so engrossed and just thought, do you know what, this is incredible. I've never wanted someone to win a match so much in all my life. And then for that moment of, go ahead, kid, climb the ladder, make yourself famous. That's still one of the most played, sound clips in WWE, even when it's not that match showing. So, to me, it stands out. Sorry, I thought someone was going to say something there. I know there's a lot of our fans, they'll tell us, like, their favorite match has been, like, this year, or their favorite match ever has been, like, in the last month. I kind of get that. I think it's kind of a good thing. I like when fans come up with a new match every time, someone asks, because it just means that they're watching wrestling and they're still being absorbed into it. They're still appreciating what goes on.
Yeah.
I was going to say, one of my favourite things recently was Owen's promo about, I've done this better than advice, I've done this longer than you have. Because it's not often you see the actual truth of reality being reflected in WWE. I think moments like that, like the pipe bomb, like Austin, all of those moments are awesome.
So just having that kind of almost realism thrown in with everything.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is entertainment, but there's a level of real
Yeah,
stuff
I like
going on.
blurring the lines, and I
It's
think
like
recently,
when they break that fourth wall, kind of not exactly look at the camera, but basically give it the inch of truth.
I think one of my favorite moments of that was Randy Savage legitimately getting pissed at Jake the Snake Roberts for slapping Miss Elizabeth, and that coming across on screen to me was incredible. I mean, Miss Elizabeth didn't expect it, so it was it was almost unplanned. It was off the hook, and there was just that moment of grittiness behind it again, especially in that era because there wasn't a lot of it. It was bright colors, and Jake the Snake was really the only one that was a darker character at that point, other than Undertaker, I guess.
Although I do have to admit, I remember when Rick Rude kissed Jake. It was a Jake the Snake's wife.
Oh yeah.
And had her face spray painted or airbrushed on his tights.
I remember that. God,
and
yeah.
I think it was funny because Rude had no idea it was his wife. And he kissed her. Had no idea. Because I think the tights came after that. But that was during their feud that they had. One of the best feuds ever, I might add.
I used to love that Rick Rude put himself on his trunks as well.
He was great. He was absolutely amazing. And when you hear people who met him and they're like, he's the nicest guy. He played such a jerk, but he was the nicest guy.
Just going back to our tweets again. The Fox What? What an awesome name. The Fox What? Say that 4 times quick. It says, sooner or later, they're going to have to book an Undertaker end match. I can't just see him disappearing into the dark.
No, that will be Sting Taker.
Yeah, I still think we're going to get Sting Taker. And it may happen at Survivor Series. I mean, why not end the dead man at the place where he started?
Because it's not the big... People say it's not big enough for Taker.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
Most people will tell you it's got to be WrestleMania, and I get that. Again, following our tweets, James Belmont says, I have a best match of all time, and that was the 60-minute Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
Another good match. I totally agree.
And, on Canada Day, that's like a great thing as well. Well done for mentioning Bret Hart. Happy Canada Day, yes. Everyone.
Ooh, yes, all you Canadian fans out there. As I sit in the coffee shop in downtown Calgary.
It's like, I've heard a lot of people today on Twitter, I asked earlier, like, who's your favorite Canadian wrestler? And honest to God, the first thing I expected was Chris to burst out of nowhere and be like, it's Sami Zayn, and then run away again.
I would fully have expected everyone to just go, Bret Hart, Bret Hart, Bret Hart.
There was only a few Bret Harts. It was kind of nice. A lot of them were Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit.
Yeah, I can appreciate it.
There's Christian and there's Edge and...
Yeah, but no one said Edge. No one said Edge.
No one said Edge? Oh,
no one said Edge, but a few people said Christian. A few people did say Christian.
You know why no one says Edge, right? Because no one really remembers he's from Canada. Everyone remembers Edge. You just don't remember where he's from.
To be honest with you, I know that he's from Canada, but I just don't think of him as being from Canada. Like, there's some wrestlers I just associate with Canada, like Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, just because he yelled at someone. I don't really associate guys like Christian with Canada. Test was definitely one I didn't associate until he became part of the Un-Americans.
The only person...
Well, there's also Lance Storm. He's got a wrestling school here in Calgary.
Man, he's one of those guys that just does not get enough credit. I really like Lance Storm in the ring.
I do too.
The only reason I even think of guys like...
he needs such a great heel.
The only reason I even think of guys like Kevin Owens is the accent.
I don't really pick it up with Kevin Owens.
I definitely pick it up on Owens. It's not constant, but it's when he says certain words, you hear it and you go, yeah, he's not American.
I think it doesn't help when he cuts promos in French Canadian.
Oh Lord, let's not get into that.
Okay.
Actually, just for all of you people who do not know this, Santino is also Canadian.
Shh, don't break kayfabe. He's Italian, and he was a fan. He was never a wrestler. I mean,
He has an MMA school in Mississauga.
yeah, he's got a gym opening up somewhere as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. I'm so glad he's doing something out with WWE now that obviously he's had his injury. He's still hoping to go back, which is still pretty cool as well. Oh, speaking of neck injuries, just want to put out, get well soon to Tyson Kidd, another Canadian.
Yep.
Those staples looked rough as hell.
And that looks like an injury I would never want to wish on anyone.
Oh yeah, the back of his neck just looks ruined.
Oh, poor guy. It makes you wonder if he's even going to have a career after that.
Well, we also have to keep in mind that we didn't actually see the scars from like Austin's surgery, so it's a tough question to answer, to be honest. For all we know, Austin went through the same thing, and his neck isn't the big issue with Austin.
Yeah.
Surprise everyone.
I like though that obviously Cesaro's gone out the last few matches and he's had the kid armband on. It's a nice little tribute and showing support.
I like that he did the sharpshooter.
I was going to say he's been using the sharpshooter in every match he's had since Tyson Kidd went out.
And you know what's funny about that particular move? Is
Go for it.
Everybody does. You look at, say, for instance, Drew Mack, who had the same finisher as Jake Snake Robert, but they were called different things. But regardless of who executes that move, it's always a sharpshooter.
Yeah, even when The Rock did it, when The Rock used to do it, it was a sharpshooter.
It was a sharpshooter.
Yeah, I mean, Sheamus does what with Texas Cloverleaf, which is almost exactly the same.
Yep.
Except he turns you over into it rather than like turning you and then doing the legs and things like that.
Yeah, but they're always called different things. But regardless of who's executing it, it's the sharpshooter, which I think speaks a lot towards Bret Hart anyway.
Okay, I'm not sure if someone's trying to confuse me here. Eric says, "What about Roddy Piper for Best Canadian?" I mean, kayfabe said he was Scottish, but I thought he was American.
He's Canadian.
Oh wow, I thought he was American.
No, Roddy Piper is Canadian.
I just legitimately didn't know.
He will
think
always
he's
be
actually
Scottish
from
Glasgow.
I want to say no. He is from
Edinburgh?
Saskatoon.
Oh, I thought we were on about where he's billed from. I was going to say, okay.
He's from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Oh,
I just looked like a jackass live on the air. That's okay.
I know, he's from Glasgow, it's fine, shush.
He was billed from Glasgow, Scotland.
He was, and he still rocks the kilt. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
We also got asked, are any of us going to WrestleMania?
Probably yes.
Yeah,
Nope.
I'm hoping to. It'll depend on funds, but if I can get a ticket, I would love to go.
Mine depends on who else I know is going.
I'm going to have to say no this year. As much as I wanted to go.
Yeah, I would love
It might have to be WrestleMania 33 for me.
I'm pretty much only going on the basis that this is going to be the
Biggest.
Yeah, the biggest and probably the largest fanfare that WrestleMania will get for at least the next 5 years. Or at least until 35, sorry, because, they'll always make a big deal out of fives and rounded numbers.
This is true.
Okay, hopefully Paul will be joining us soon. If you guys are still listening, I would love if you could go and, pop out, tell everyone about our show, let them know so they can come and join in. We'll talk about their tweets as well. If you're still listening to us as well, you can make sure that you can get the rest of this show on our app, which you can get from the Google Play Store. Just search Levels of Wrestling, all one word, and you can download that for an Android device just now. If you're not good doing that and you've got an Apple device, maybe you want to head to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com or download the Podbean app and search for us, Levels of Wrestling. You can hear the Levels of Wrestling, Mind of Carnage. You can hear all of us from the Low family completely for free. Just before we go on, the Fox What says, fuck it, Piper's still Scottish to me, damn it.
Fair enough. So, did you want to go back to our pop and heat since you're the only one that said anything?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
I have a couple pops this week,
Ooh, a
actually.
few pops. This is kind of new. It's usually a few heats.
Definitely the Cesaro Cena match. That was right on. No complaints about that match whatsoever. Another pop was the tag match. Yeah, the 8-man tag player. I didn't mind that too much. It allowed the primetime players to kind of like get up there, and do their thing. And I am sorry about what happened with the New Day. Bo Dallas bumping for everybody. Don't care about that at all. But it was nice to see. Them get more time than they normally get. And I have to say, I have an honorable mention to the Divas match. The ladies actually got a long time, longer than they usually do. And Paige and Alicia Fox. I mean, Alicia Fox is not a bad worker in the ring. She's not. So it's nice that they got the time.
I actually have to make that one of my pops of the week as well. That match was, compared to the matches we've had recently, that was a very good match. I mean, I got into it.
It was, and yeah, you had the distractions, but they're women. Of course, they're going to distract people. That's kind of how they work. But it was nice to see the ladies have that amount of time and to have that back and forth. Because, like I said, Paige is a worker. We all know that, and Alicia Fox is a really good in-ring worker.
She's definitely one of the workers.
She doesn't get a lot of credit. She's very underrated.
She has the best bridge suplex in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite possible. I love the fact that she could be used more regularly, and they always just put her in shitty backstage segments, like they're watching the match and then someone bursts into a fight and she gets involved. They had the whole crazy thing going on for her last year and didn't go anywhere with it.
And I mean, she was actually fabulous at that because she was having a good time with it. You could tell she was enjoying herself. Give her something to do, and she can entertain. Absolutely, she can entertain. My heats for the week, I have a few of those too. Number one, the Big Show Mark Henry match. Like, what the hell was that?
That was a waste of time.
That was a waste of time. The opening segment with the cars and the trips and everything else. Yeah, if you're going to open a show with 15 to 20 minutes of talking, that doesn't bode well for the rest of your show. It was the only thing that really saved it was the Cena match. And like I said, for me, the tag match was entertaining, and the Divas match was entertaining. That brought it up to a C show. Otherwise, it would have been a friggin' B, based on the 20-minute talking. So the opening segment, Big Show versus Mark Henry, and I wasn't really keen on the whole Ryback, whatever, and Miz and all that. Like, I couldn't give a shit. Dolph Ziggler and Rusev, couldn't give a shit about that either. It's not the first time you have two wrestlers fighting over one of the divas. Like, it's basically like freaking what was going on with Edge and Lita and all that back in the day, like 10 years ago. Like, could we find something a little bit more original? And I hate to say it, as much as I like the fact that he won, I have a big heat for the whole Barrett versus Swagger thing. What the hell was that?
Yeah. I did.
They might as well just, what? Jack Swagger is so done. Just future endeavor his ass.
I didn't actually get to give my heats for the week. My heat, yeah, that's definitely up there. Barrett and Swagger. I have no idea what the hell they're doing with either of those guys at the moment. They don't seem to know themselves what they're doing with either of them. They turn around and go, "Oh, we're going to make Barrett win King of the Ring. Great, do something with it." Oh, we've made him King Barrett. Okay, now what?
Yeah, the whole idea.
If you're not going to do anything with it, like friggin', if you're not going to do anything with these guys, future endeavor.
Do you know what they should have done with him? He was the king of bad news.
My yes, he was. My
Yes.
my my other pop of the week, by the way, which I've just realised, the Rolling Stones. Rolling
Uh,
Stone magazine.
yeah, I was gonna say, as in the magazine or the band.
The magazine.
Yeah, making Kevin Owens Wrestler of the Year
I completely
already.
I buy into that. I agree with that, and not because of the indie crap. Because everyone seems to go, "Oh, you only like him for the indie." I never watched the indies. Kevin Owens, on the other hand, I have watched since he came in NXT. He is a guy who's come in, and put 100% into everything, added a touch of realism to everything, and has put on 5-star matches.
Yeah. With less than 5-star opponents.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because there are a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, Roman Reigns should have won it." Not necessarily.
Ow.
I
No,
can,
Roman Reigns. No,
to
he
me the
doesn't
run.
have the seasoning, if you will.
Yeah, to me the best wrestler so far this year is Owens. Second best is Cena.
Yeah, and then I would say close behind him is probably Cesaro or Kid. And
Yeah,
as much as
Mhm.
I dislike Kid's charisma, but I think he's a great wrestler.
same
I
goes
just
for
Kid doesn't have any charisma, but his in-ring technical, moves and doing that, like he's, right up there. Like he's got excellent, excellent execution. But of course he would because of who trained him.
um, just following off from our tweets, there's a couple of people have mentioned things we've been talking about. Heat of the week from the Fox What was Ziggler and Lana. It basically made him fall asleep. He also
Yeah, it was a
complains
waste
that
of time.
Lana's his anyway.
It was a waste
I,
of time, and the cat fight between her and Summer Rae. Yabba-dabba-doo.
Lana was the most over person in that whole segment. This is a bad
Yes.
sign.
this is a bad time for Ziggler more than anything.
Oh yeah. James says his heat of the week would be towards the IWC for slating the stellar pro wrestling show Slammiversary. And again, the Fox What says that Swagger needs a change. He's done it in the past. He could do it again.
I agree and disagree. I don't think necessarily. I feel like Swagger has heat backstage. I feel like that drug charge he had, he never recovered from.
Yep. And it's no different than Emma.
Yeah, except Emma's sort of redeemed herself in NXT. Swagger hasn't even been given that. Swagger was like, "Oh, we were going to give you the title, and you fucked up, so no."
Yeah, you got to Well, and I guess it's a big difference between stealing an
It
iPhone
reminds
cover and a DUI that,
it reminds me of the punishment Triple H got for the curtain call, where they said, you're going to be eating a lot of shit, and you better enjoy it."
Yep.
I love the fact as well. The minute we said that Swagger needs a change, he's done it in the past. He could do it again. And then someone said, "What? Do what? Another 420 incident?" That would be my one concern. I think he would go blow it again.
I
Yeah.
honestly,
You know,
I think he will be future endeavoured when is Black Friday for wrestlers now. I always forget.
it was usually the month after WrestleMania,
Hmm.
and this is why I'm kind of like, oh, they haven't got rid of people this year.
No, they got rid of somebody.
Yeah, no, I mean like it wasn't like a big layoff like it usually is.
Yeah, they don't. They normally turn around and go, "Well, we're gonna release." JTG.
Hey, but that guy's came off good, and you can buy his book from us. Just ask for the link. We'll sort that out.
Great plug.
I know that was very swift. Well done. He's one of those guys that, given the chance, probably could have succeeded had he not dug his own grave, jumped in it, piled the dirt on top of it, and then lit himself on fire.
You're actually wrong, by the way. It's the Black Friday is June 12th normally. It's around June, mid-June.
Well, they still let that foot go.
Well, yeah, this is interesting.
There was a suggestion from one of our tweets as well, saying that I wish they would give Swagger or Emma the chance to use those problems for creative.
No.
I don't know. It worked really well for Jeff Hardy. It worked really well for CM Punk. It worked for Kurt Angle in some instance.
The issue is, if you want to do drugs, you need someone who strongly opposes drugs.
You could throw that on New Day.
I was going to say throw it on Cena, but
Yeah, I mean, that would work too. I mean, have your vitamins, drink your milk, kids. Just how it works.
yeah. Although I'm not a big fan of that. Cena
I
Swagger
don't think
sounds clunky.
it would be clunky, but at the same time, it could be a good wrestling match. I mean, we've just seen Cena put on some stellar matches on Raw. We know that Swagger can go when he's not off his face, or kicking Ziggler in the head to cause concussions.
We've seen Cena put on a 4 to 5 star match with Barrett.
Jeremy8911 says that Swagger should be sent to NXT and paired with Jason Jordan and Chad Gable as Shoot Nation.
Not bad.
That's an interesting prospect. I like a good set of wrestlers. You put them together as an elite team. It's almost very similar to Team Angle.
When you put it like that, I'd rather see him. When you put it like that, I'd rather see him as a Wyatt.
Whoa, Team Angle were great. I mean, they came out with what? Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas.
Speaking of which, I just have to point out, silliest promo of the year went to Bray Wyatt.
I did like that. I mean, anytime Bray Wyatt cuts a promo, I still listen. I know people tell me that, he's doing the same stuff every week. He's not, though. He tells you something new. Bray Wyatt is one of those guys that gets wrapped up in his own words. He makes you feel what he wants you to feel, and that is the heart and soul of a promo.
He did this week till he mentioned he had daddy issues, and I sort of sat there and went, wow, not as interested now. I mean, the stuff he did last week with Reigns was fantastic. The stuff he did this week, with a promo anyway, was sort of...
Yeah, it's I like the whole anybody but you, because that's clearly playing on something that the IWC have said, and it's one of those things that makes people listen. Like, fans do listen to that, and they question why he says it. And I want to know personally where they're going with it, what angle, because Bray Wyatt's not said why he's doing it. It's just anyone but you.
Well, you see, to me, the issue here is, and this is something that we've mentioned before, it almost seems like they've been listening to our show, because they seem to be setting up that Wyatt Reigns will be ongoing over the years, and it will be something they will be the parallels, the opposites that stand in front of each other. They will be, the Alpha and the Omega, they'll be the yin and the yang, they will be the two things that are polar opposites, but at the same time so close together.
Oh, wow. Junaid Khan says, I don't understand what the hell Wyatt's saying half the time. And we also got, where is it? Cena got Kenny Dykstra fired and tried to get Orton fired and slept with a porn star behind his wife's back. He's a real heel. Yeah, when you put it like that, this is why kayfabe exists. It's it's one of those rough things. Hogan did a lot of bad shit.
Hogan did
Hogan was a bad shit.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who watches Tough Enough knows that Hogan's opinions are almost completely invalid.
Yeah, I'm not fond of Hogan. I'm not fond of Tough Enough. In fact, that's my heat of the week. Tough Enough is my heat of the week. I can't stand reality TV. I certainly can't stand reality TV about a fake show that's going to be about fake wrestling on a fake TV show about a wrestling show.
See, I'm questioning how fake it is because of the fan participation.
I think it's very fake, and WWE already have their, they already have their winner, and I think it's going to be ZZ.
I think they've picked who they want to win, but not necessarily who's going to, and I think it'll be ZZ.
Yeah, I think he's got the charisma. He's one of those guys. He seems very southern, and it's what they're actually lacking at the moment.
Yeah, it's not often you find a guy who has natural charisma, and ZZ has it in. He has it to spare.
I've got, just to interrupt, sorry, I've got about 5 minutes before I'm going to get kicked out of where I'm at.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to bow out of the show.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of Canada Day.
Thank you.
And,
I didn't realize they closed at 5 today. Otherwise, I would have found someplace else.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll find it eventually, and we'll fix the situation. Don't forget as well, next week we're going to have Gunnar on. You're not going to want to miss that. And I know that he wants to talk to all of us because I've been emailing him back and forth. So, great guy. Make sure you got plenty of questions for him, and we will have a hell of a show with him.
I will, and I'll find someplace quiet that I'm not going to get kicked out of.
Great.
Awesome.
All right.
I've picked out some amazing questions for him, and I've picked out a few questions that may not go down too well.
Well, I'm sure if you send them to me, and if our fans send all their questions to me first, we can go through them. Obviously, the more sensible they are, the more likely we are to ask him. We can't ask him silly questions, and we can't ask him too much in depth about any contracts because that's not our place. We like to be professional, and I'll ask him certain things, but sex, life, contracts, all that kind of stuff. It's not our place.
Yeah, GFW, not our place.
I would be tempted to tease it.
Tease, not. Yeah.
I think, seeing as it's you and me, let's talk a little GFW. Where do you see GFW going? I know we had the show last Thursday where we discussed the idea that obviously GFW, TNA were linking together, probably with Ring of Honor as well. Do you see it happening now that Jeff Jarrett won the King of the Mountain match without any help from someone from GFW?
I don't see it not happening.
So you do see it happening then?
I don't see a situation whereby you can have Jeff Jarrett win one of the main titles of TNA and not have that be involved in GFW.
There's talk of him defending it on the GFW shows.
Would not surprise me.
The last I heard, Jeff Jarrett wasn't going to be wrestling on these shows.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what would happen if he picked a representative. The way that when we had the match of the millionaires or billionaires or whatever it was at WrestleMania and each of them picked a representative, I think it'd be interesting to see, Dixie pick someone from TNA and, hey, we could have Jeff Jarrett pick AJ Styles.
I would like that. I mean, I know we spoke very briefly about AJ Styles being probably the one thing that would get people to really watch GFW. They're bringing across guys from New Japan. Why not bring him in?
I was going to say, well, New Japan is partnered with GFW. That'd be a perfect 10 out of 10 sort of thing. You could do that with ease. And it'd make me watch. It'd blow most people away.
To me, it's one of those things that I hope in time will pick up. I'm not sure they'll do it straight away.
GFW would not pick up at the start. I can completely agree with that.
And do you know what's really weird now that we're discussing GFW? Global Force Wrestling have just literally right now tweeted out saying GFW are having an announcement with TNA after the Impact tapings tonight.
So they're having a partnership, basically.
I would imagine very much so they're having a partnership, or Jeff Jarrett is going to buy them back and he is going to overrun the company and just call it Global Force Wrestling.
If they do that, that would be best, I think.
I personally think that would be the saving grace of TNA at the moment. I love TNA. I think they're a great company, but it's clear that there's some issues there, regardless of what we know as wrestling fans.
Yeah, I have an issue with TNA, and that is simply the reputation that they have now. GFW, I know that they have TV tapings coming up. I'm interested to see what they do.
What gets me is stars like James Storm, Magnus, all these people that are leaving. Loki's just legged it. I mean, you've got to question, even James Storm even shaved his head.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. There was a photo of James Storm with, I say it was a photo of James Storm. It was James Storm tweeted a photo of a pile of hair that was clearly his on the floor in a barber shop. I mean, a new look, new company, it could really work. They've just got to pull their finger out their asses to actually do so. Guys, as we come into the last half an hour of the show, please make sure that you're tweeting in. Please make sure that you're talking to us, all your thoughts on what we're discussing as well. You can head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. You can hear from us, Ringside Ramblers, Just Saying, Mind of Carnage, and of course the Wrestle Addicts, where you will hear myself doing Rant with Ant this week. You will also hear Rant with Ant from last week, where he spoke to Cade from Mind of Carnage. Alternatively, you can head over to the Google Play Store. You can download our app for free for Androids. Just search Levels of Wrestling. Chris, as we go into the last half hour, I promised a little bit today that we would read through some of the hashtag wrestling pickup lines that we've been tweeting out today.
Oh God.
Some of these are actually, some of them are really good. Hey babe, are you Scotty too hotty? Because I've got a worm I'd like to show you. You'll be screaming yes more than Daniel Bryan before I'm done with you. We should be TNA. There won't be much left at the end. Yep. Hey baby, my wang's like 2000 WCW pay-per-views. It's too long and it has a dusty finish. Hey babe, can we try the TNA? Well, basically I just lean down until there's nothing left.
Alright, these are already getting old.
I'm Jim Ross and I'll ride you like a government mule.
Oh God.
Hey babe, I'm Kevin Nash. You want to... Oh, never mind, my quad's gone again. You want some? Come get some.
Not a bad one.
When I see you, I'm anything but SAWFT, soft. I'm JR and I'd like to slobber on your knockers. Wow, some of these are really bad, guys. You people are terrible.
Yeah. They're bad and you should feel bad.
These dopes are bad and you should feel bad. I hope you're not HBK because I want you to lay down for me. If you thought this was going to be the best night of your life, then I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop right there because that is too much bad jokes.
Oh, they're awful. I mean, the IWC, as much as we love you guys, you come up with the worst stuff. Even worse than I do. I've seen Paul tweet out some really bad stuff. And
Me?
Oh, there he is. What a run-in.
Hi, I'm Paul. I just got done doing a 5-knuckle shuffle.
You're going to say he's coming to break up Cena versus Cesaro. It's K.
Yeah, that's why I was late. I was doing a 5-knuckle shuffle.
You were doing a 5-knuckle shuffle.
He was having to fly. He was having to fly back from Tokyo.
It's true.
Long trip.
Yes.
So
how are we doing?
We're fine. We were just literally, before we went into the hashtags of the wrestling pickup lines, we were talking about GFW and TNA, and we were also talking about how Jeff Jarrett won the match, but not in the way that we said.
Yeah, it's all the work. So, yeah, GFW is TNA. It's like Fight Club. That's my prediction.
You just think it's all one person, Dixie and Jeff are the same person.
Yeah, all these guys leaving TNA and going to Global Force, it's just going to be part of an angle.
Well,
That's
this is what Craig pointed out recently. There's actually just been an announcement made that GFW and TNA have an announcement to make after Impact tonight.
Ta-da!
So, well, yeah, and what happens if Jeff Jarrett buys out TNA and simply renames it all GFW?
It's fine. I mean, but from what I hear, from having my ear to the street, is that Destination America was pretty pissed off about Jeff Jarrett coming back. So.
I don't think why, can you?
No idea.
Okay, for those of us who don't follow TNA, care to explain?
Okay. Jeff Jarrett had some long-term issues with TNA. Obviously, he's a co-owner of the company, but he's no longer involved with the company as a whole. He's took a back step, and he's not involved with creative. He's not involved with writing or running the business. He's just a part-time owner. However, there was issues with TV companies, and there was a couple of other things as well. But Jeff Jarrett has now come back on the scene, and Destination America aren't very happy with the whole situation because they feel that business could go sour. I think it's also to do with the fact that Jeff Jarrett has the ability to buy out TNA, and that would mean that Destination America are no longer dealing with TNA. They would be dealing with Global Force Wrestling.
Here's the issue I've got with that. They're saying the show would go sour. The show's already gone sour. I don't know what you're really expecting will change here. People over at Destination America, pull your head out your ass, look at the viewership. You're going to realise there's something been wrong for a while now.
Can we just say, for the first time, however long we've been doing this show now, it's a year, by the way. A big hello to some of the run-ins that we've just had from the Just Saying girls. How we doing, girls?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Lowdown for the first time ever. Tell you what,
I don't know if Stacy's connected yet, but I'm here.
Stacy's not connected yet, but we'll get there.
Fucking bitch.
I know. I thought you were the one that was bad with technology.
No, listen. It's not my fault. You guys use all this crazy shit that I have no idea what's going on.
It's all right.
Yeah, we use the internet. It is so fucking complicated. I know.
Listen, I don't know how to use the internet. Okay, I can barely use my phone.
I feel like I should be talking like a cup of coffee. Sorry, it's just the first time I've been on a show with you, and that's the first thing I hear. I'm like, wow.
Wow, your Boston accent made you sound like Taz, and not in a good way.
It's not even I'm not even from Boston. I'm 45 minutes away from Boston.
It's like talking to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. This is awesome.
Wow. Don't call him Marky Mark. He doesn't like that shit. It's Mark Wahlberg to you.
No, when he stops doing Transformers flicks, I'll call him Mark Wahlberg.
And he's not from Boston. He's from Dorchester. Get it right.
Yep, there's a big difference there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, actually talking to you guys live. It's weird.
I know. I'd like to think as well. This is crazy because a lot of our fans don't know this. After a year of promoting your shows and talking to you on Twitter and through Facebook and things like that, we as a company have never actually spoke verbally. So this is the first time. And our fans are hearing this too. So welcome to the family.
Oh, it is a pleasure to be here. I just wish my co-host would hurry up and connect her ass.
All she has to do is press the button. It's not hard, Stacey. Do as she's told.
Hurry up, Stacey. I miss you.
Okay, seeing as you're here, I've got to ask. If you've ever listened to the show before, you know we do a segment called Pop and Heat.
Okay.
I want to know what your pop and your heat of the week are. So what was your best moment and what was your worst moment of this week?
Okay. Let's see. I've had a really good and bad week, so it's funny that you were to ask me that. So my co-host and I, Stacy, and our somewhat co-host, Kevin, you've heard him on the show a few times. So we went to a live WWE event in Boston, and for anybody who follows Stacy and I on Twitter, you know that we're like WWE marks, but whatever. So we go to the show, and The Rock decided he wanted to make a special appearance. So that was pretty cool to actually see him. That was actually the first time I've seen The Rock live, and we sat pretty close. We were like 4th or 5th row, so to see him like up close and personal was pretty cool. And like me, dumbass, I didn't even think, I knew he was in Boston filming a movie, but I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that he would even make an appearance at this show, so it was a nice surprise. So that would probably be my good thing of the week. My worst thing of the week would probably be I had a 15-year-old dog pass away on me. That was my childhood dog, so that kind of sucked, but other than that, it's been a pretty good week, and now I'm here on Levels of Wrestling podcast, so it just made my week even better.
I'm both horrified for you and also really impressed that you made a plug there. So well done.
You're welcome.
That's professional podcasting at its best right there.
Exactly.
I have to admit,
I gotta look out for the family.
I have to admit, I did completely forget that The Rock turned up in Boston as a surprise. That's definitely up there as a pop. I mean, that's
huge.
Okay, what's it like seeing The Rock live? Because I've never been to a WWE event where I've seen like The Rock or Stone Cold or the big stars that everyone deems. So what's it like actually seeing the most electrifying man in sports entertainment?
It's like seeing him on TV, but in front of you.
Is he bigger? Is he smaller?
Well, the man he's going to be the Boulder soon. He's friggin' huge. He's not going to be The Rock. He's going to be like the Mountain soon because he just gets bigger and bigger every time he's around. The funny thing is how it all started was Bo Dallas was actually out in the middle of the ring cutting a promo. And, I mean, I'm a Bo Dallas mark, believe it or not. I love Bo Dallas. Don't ask me why.
We won't particularly judge him.
Shut up, all right? You like freaking Big Show, so I don't want to hear it.
You leave my dad alone, bitch.
That's his dad.
You shut up. You have no room to talk. So, you know, I'm taking pictures, and I just so happen to, like, look down on my phone to, like, either put them on my Snapchat or something, and The Rock's music hits. And I don't really get excited because I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I just keep doing what I'm doing on my phone. The crowd's going crazy around me. I'm like, yeah, right. They're going to troll us. Somebody's going to come out. Like Damian Sandow is going to come out and be The Rock right now. So Stacy starts whacking me in the shoulder. She's like, get the fuck up. Oh, my God, look, he's really here. And I look up, and it's the fucking Rock. Like, who would have thought that the freaking Rock would have just showed up at a house show? So it was really cool. Like, the crowd went insane. Like, I haven't heard a crowd get crazy like that in so long. And house shows are mainly, like, babyface crowds anyway. So, like, to see, like, just grown-ass men getting up, like, marking out, it was actually kind of cool to see. And to, like, actually hear him talk. And then he did the people's elbow and the usual, like, Rock shit that he does. So it was definitely... I don't want to say once in a lifetime thing, because that sounds kind of corny, but it was definitely cool to see.
I would just
especially at a house show. Like, you would expect something like that on a Raw, something before Mania, something before SummerSlam, something like that. But at a house show, for The Rock to just show up, I wonder how much Vince McMahon had to pay his ass to show up.
I would just like to point out that The Rock has now worked more house shows in the past 10 years than Brock Lesnar. Just saying.
Let's not talk about Brock Lesnar right now, because I'll get very angry.
We're going to be talking about, and we need to talk about the Beast in the East.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Guys, I hate to say it because I'm Kofi Mark. Kofi's gonna get killed in Japan and just not come back. And New Day is gonna become a tag team, and they're gonna have to get rid of the Freebird rule. So, Kofi, we love you, but you're gone.
I get the feeling we will not have Brock versus Kofi. They will either change who it is, or he will just destroy them before the match begins.
Well, it doesn't matter. They haven't even they haven't even promoted like who he's going up against, so it's really irrelevant.
They can throw anybody out. They could make it Cena, which I wouldn't mind. They could make it Rollins, which I wouldn't mind.
If they're going to do that, then they're going to hype that ahead of time. So I mean, you know what they're hyping is the NXT title match and Brock Lesnar.
Because the NXT title match is going to be awesome. Kevin Owens, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Owens and Finn Balor.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going with Paul. We'll see.
You know, Owens. I mean, he's had his only decent matches this year have been with Zayn and Cena.
I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Yeah, there's the hesitation.
I fucking Paul wins, God damn it! And Finn Balor is neither one of those guys. So.
Well, I'm actually curious to see what's going to happen with Balor. I mean,
he's going to sell. He's going to sell a lot.
Oh,
he's going to do what he's best at, and that's sell.
Well, the best at is doing an entrance. That's what he's best at.
Yeah, he is best at the entrance and the body paints.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see, you know, does he walk out with a title? Because it almost seems too predictable.
Is it though? Is it too predictable?
I mean, it's the right place.
If it was a Tommy, then I would say yeah, it's predictable. But with Balor, I don't think it is.
In Japan.
The majority of fans that are going to be watching that are WWE fans have no idea that he was Prince Devitt over in New Japan. And for the most part, he wasn't even that big of a star over New Japan. He was an upper mid-card guy. He wasn't a main eventer. I mean, he was a mid-card guy.
Okay, that's true.
I would like to think though that when he does get there, they actually, they do something creative with him. Maybe they give him new paint. Maybe they'll give him, less shitty headgear for his entrance. That thing really annoys me.
It's
you know what? Let him if they let him do like one of his old entrances, let him do the one where he comes out of the coffin.
It's
Oh, yeah,
interesting
that'd
to
be
me
awesome.
because they've shown him a couple of times with blue paint, but they've never actually used it. Like you see the promotion material I've done with it, and he's used like blue instead of red, or he's used different patterns with some sort of blue in it, and we've never seen it.
I think they'll probably go white and red personally, just because of the Japanese colors.
Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty cool, if I'm honest.
Is he? I only do this show so Paul will praise me. That's basically all we do this for. I've got to ask: has anyone had a weekly with Zim this week?
Yes.
Oh, you have.
I have had somebody who, within the same 2 minutes, has told me, you only like Kevin Owens because he was on the indie circuit. Then tell me, Dean Ambrose is the best wrestler ever. That kind of makes me question, what the hell? You don't get to turn around to someone and say, oh, you only like them because they're on the indies. Go the other indie guy.
I can see where they're coming from. Obviously, they haven't done their homework, but that's what I expect from a casual WWE fan nowadays. Like, that's not a bad thing either, because they get to know, what they know, and it makes them feel good. There was a point in time where I couldn't have told you, like, Chris Jericho wrestled in loads of independent places before he went to WWE, or even WCW.
Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, with Lance Storm. So, I mean, there are people that are going to know that Kevin Owens came from the Indies, and that's all they know him from. But the people that say that also still recognize Ring of Honor as an indie show, and those people are wrong. Idiots. Stop it.
Yeah, they're on TV. They're not indie. And everybody is loving that there is a not Boston accent on here. So.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of good feedback. Maybe.
No, I said not Boston. They're talking about me.
Oh, sorry.
No, they're talking about accents. Obviously, they're talking about me.
I was going to
Chris,
say probably Chris more than anything.
Chris, we get told about your accent quite a bit.
Oh, I know.
I'm not going to say whether it's positive or negative.
If the only reason you...
Chris has like a really he has like a really regal accent. Like as much as I love Wade Barrett, his accent's horrendous.
It's funny because I think Craig actually lives closer to Blackpool than I do.
Yep.
And then you have like somebody like William Regal who just has an amazing accent, and it's just I want him to narrate my life. Just walk behind me and narrate my life.
I just want his hair.
And
at least
that's Chris. That's your accent. Your accent is just so like it's like nice to listen to. It's not like when Wade Barrett talks, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
At least Barrett has a better accent than Neville.
Me.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God.
Neville's accent, because if you mess around with Neville's accent, he's going to forget gravity and he's going to forget yourself.
Neville's accent. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, Craig. I could understand you. I can't understand marble mouth, mush mouth Neville.
Yeah, we did this last week. And I learned that I've got to speak a bit like that. But I've got to put my fingers in my mouth because I don't put my fingers in my mouth. It's really difficult to work it out. So if you don't put your fingers in your mouth, it's all fine.
See, and that's why just for those just peeking behind the curtain there, folks. That was not his hands or his fingers in his mouth.
I would just like.
That's why he's not on cam.
For those of you who don't know the difference between British accents, that's what we call a Geordie accent. Half the people in England don't like the Geordie accent.
Half the people with Geordie accents don't like Geordie accents.
I don't like Geordie accents.
I think it doesn't help as well. He cuts those promos when he's still wearing a gum shield.
He kind of has to, after what happened with Brodus Clay, and I can't blame him one bit.
Well, it's not like he was kind of unattractive in the first place, so, he probably did him a favour.
He had his teeth shattered out of his mouth. I don't think that's doing anyone a favour.
I'm still waiting for him to either become the elf on the shelf come Christmas time, or they're going to dye his hair white and then make him be Legolas. That's what I'm waiting for.
No, they did something really cool this week, and they introduced him as a comic book hero.
Was he on this week?
Yeah. They actually pulled up like a comic book style drawing of him. It was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention.
I just want.
I like how you went, yeah.
Yeah, that excitement kind of went. Yeah, no.
Hold on, do I get a pop and heat
It was
of the
almost
week?
like,
Yeah, you get to do a pop and heat. Go for it.
My pop of the week is Drea being on here.
Yay.
Yay, that's my pop of the week.
Kiss ass.
That's what I do best. Didn't you know that?
Okay,
That has been on. That was on like every one of my report cards as a kid. So yeah. So that's my pop of the week, along with Cena Cesaro. And my heat of the week is the Seth Rollins.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've had a question come in from James Belmont who asks, I want your view on this. Has NXT forgotten what it's supposed to be when they're hiring 10-year vets for a development company?
it's not a development. The development exists within the Performance Center. NXT itself is a brand. Although the people down there are seen as lesser, it's the equivalent of what ECW was back in 07 and 08. It is the third brand that is almost like the B card.
You know, it's funny that we've answered this question so many times that's our answer.
Yeah, it's not so much.
That's exactly our answer verbatim. You know, that's pretty much what, if you asked one of us three what it would be, that's our answer. Because that's what it is now.
We don't preach the gospel, and we certainly don't tell it to the choir, but we're not wrong. You know, like, it's not developmental anymore. It's just another show that they're claiming is developmental.
Yeah, as soon as they signed like Owens and Zayn, you know, we were on the preach of, okay, this is just the illusion of indie. That was it.
When you then go and get Kenta, Devitt, Joe, yeah, you're not a development company. Yeah, sure, you're developing some talent. Great, good for you, that's fine. But don't kid yourself, you're a brand. You're a lesser brand, but you're a brand.
The thing that I think, though, I kind of agree with you guys, where it's NXT's becoming its own brand rather than the B-list for Raw, which actually I think it's better wrestling than Raw anyway. But I think if they're going to start making it its own brand, then they need to push it more. Maybe not so much have it just on the network, because I think part of the problem is, too, when they bring guys up to Raw, nobody really knows who they are. Stacey and I were talking about this, too, like, when we go to shows and sometimes like NXT guys will be there, like one time we went, Tyler Breeze was there, another time we went, Neville was there, and Sami Zayn, and nobody was really cheering for these guys, and because they didn't know who they were. So it's like, okay, we're like the only people cheering for them, and you got these little kids in the audience who have no clue who these guys are.
Well, the thing that has been said is that there's Triple H is teasing an announcement for going into SummerSlam. That will be one of two things. One of them will be an NXT special on the network near SummerSlam weekend, or
yeah, there's gonna be a show on the Saturday before SummerSlam, because I just found that out on Saturday, and being that Stacey and I are going to SummerSlam, we're like, well, we need to find out where this show is because we need to go.
In that case, that's probably what the announcement is.
And it's funny.
So
like,
there's definitely going to be a show on the Saturday.
It's funny because we found out today as well. Like, I'm going to have to do some kind of live show when I bump into you guys, or at least some kind of recording, so that like you, me, and Stacey can actually, get a recording, and we'll use it on the Levels of Wrestling app. We'll make it an app exclusive. There you go. And
yes.
it will be we will have a New York meeting before SummerSlam, and we'll do live predictions.
I will probably be intoxicated.
That's fine.
Just throwing that out there.
That makes it even better.
I don't know if you watched like the podcast orgy, like we had Drunk Ant.
I did not listen to the full, I'm not going to lie, but I did hear a little bit of it, and it was great.
But you didn't have 4 hours to waste to listen to it?
Yeah, we really need to cut that show down.
I am so sorry that I had to work. I am so pissed that I missed it.
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna get you on one of these days. It's gonna be fantastic.
I mean, it's like a blessing that I got called out of work today, because now I'm on the show tonight. I usually work every Wednesday and Thursday, so
See?
I was like, the podcast god shone down around us.
So I got to ask, I'm intrigued because you mentioned Chris's accent and you're like, it's regal. How do you see mine? Do I sound Scottish to you? Because a lot of people have said, I don't sound very Scottish, but then I've had American people have told me I sound very Scottish.
It's weird. There's like certain things you say that sound really Scottish, but when you're just talking normal, it doesn't really register until you'll say like a certain word, and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you don't have a strong accent at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim to keep it that way.
Yeah, you're gonna fit.
You're very. I think because you're really soft spoken, kind of, that it doesn't really come out.
I appreciate that you think I'm soft spoken. That's just because it really.
Maybe just because I'm from New England, and I think if you're not loud and boisterous, then you're soft spoken, I guess.
I can be soft spoken, but I mean, like, if you listen to Podcast Orgy or Rant with Anne, which will be on the app in a few days, you'll know that I'm not soft spoken.
Well, growing up in a large Italian family, if you're not screaming at each other or like clapping your hands at somebody, then you're like, why are you so quiet for? And it's like, I'm not. I'm just Italian.
I like to think we were talking earlier as well about favorite Canadian wrestlers. Paul, you weren't here. Do you want to give yours? I know. You kind of mentioned it on Twitter.
Chris Benoit. I know
We're gonna get censored.
Taboo and all that, but still, I mean, yeah, he's still one of my.
Oh, why?
Sami Zayn.
Why? He just is. The other stuff aside, absolutely. Yeah.
My heart hurts a little.
He's a deplorable human being, yes, but yeah, I can still watch his matches.
Sami Zayn.
We know you love Sami Zayn. Get your dick out of Sami Zayn.
Kevin Owens.
Oh my God! With all the options out there, you got Bret Hart, you have Owen Hart,
Edge.
Santino.
Santino Marella. You're gonna go with El Generico.
Do you know who I miss? We were talking about Santino earlier. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I kind of miss Kozlov a little bit, if only for comedy segments.
Don't worry. Once Rusev turns face, you're going to see him all over again.
Oh yay! I love the Sheamus Santino Tea Party.
I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, I like Rusev. I kind of feel Lana's overshining him and Dolph and Summer. So
good.
Eventually, someone's going to say her name backwards, and they're going to end up in trouble. But because we all love anal, and then it's going to become a crowd chant, and then they're going to have to stop being a PG show.
Good. Craig does speak on behalf of all of us, so.
We will all chant, we like anal. All of us.
Yep.
Even those who don't, you'll be forced to.
Yep.
Take that sounded a lot rapier than it should have.
Yeah, you got to take that sign to SummerSlam. Levels of Wrestling supports anal. There you go.
And well, we do, I guess. Show, kids. Just be safe. I've got to say this as well. We actually have our first listener from Afghanistan tonight, so big hey. I know you're doing security work, so thank you.
Wow.
Be safe.
Seriously?
I know. Yeah, we took a follower from England who went all the way to Afghan and is still listening to us. Wow. Do you know what time of morning it is over there? It's obscene.
It's like 3 days from now, right?
Yeah, it's like the future.
Wow.
Although it's really weird to think
so
like
they're listening to us pretty much
guys.
In the future.
Yeah. Do they have hoverboards?
Yes, we do.
Do they have like the sneakers that like tie themselves?
No, we don't.
Fuck.
3 hours from now, though, a good thing you'll probably have hoverboards.
Fucking stupid future.
I will tell you what, when I come across to the States, I will bring future food with me.
Future food? Don't worry, we will give you good food over here. So.
Craig, you have to take them chocolate, and I mean real chocolate.
Why? It's all owned by Kraft now anyway.
Yeah, don't worry, we will feed you real pizza when you get over here.
But the American chocolate isn't the same, is it?
No, it's not.
Chocolate's chocolate.
Take them.
No, chocolate is not chocolate.
Chocolate's chocolate.
There's a difference.
A Toblerone over here tastes the same as a Toblerone over there.
Whoa, all the chocolate you pick Toblerone?
Yeah, that's the first one that popped in my head.
No, we don't.
Jesus.
If I had to pick any kind of chocolate, it would be Cadbury.
Yeah, Cadbury's.
Ew.
It's the
Like the
tits.
Yes,
Like the cream
Cadbury. No, not that. No.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about. Cream in the middle. I never said anything about that.
Oh,
Cream eggs.
Okay,
wrestling
all right,
pickup
Paul,
lines
get
is-
your mind out of the gutter. Nobody's talking about cream.
No, because as soon as somebody says Cadbury, I think of the fucking cream eggs, and then my stomach turns. And
Yeah,
then
I'm sure you do. I'm sure that's the first thing you think of when somebody says that.
Wait. Guys, are your cream eggs different to ours? Because, like, over
They're
here,
just-
those things sell in the millions.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
do over here,
disgusting.
too. Yeah, and whoever
They're
eats
fucking
them
disgusting.
are deplorable, gutter-dwelling human beings.
Well, you just
Either
put me
your
And if
cream
you-
eggs
them
are
once,
different.
sir.
If you
They're
crack
bouncy.
the egg open and look at that disgusting stuff in the middle, it literally looks like semen. Like legit. Same
Okay.
color, everything.
You clearly have not had our.
Yeah, no. Over here, they do not look like semen, and if it looks like
It
that,
does.
you need
It's
a
like
health
a
check.
clear whitish substance.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
orange in them too, so you don't want that. Get a health check.
Wow. See, no, we're on a whole different ball game.
Wow.
Things are different over here.
Yeah, a cream egg over there does not sound good. I'm taking chocolate with me.
Good shout. Good idea.
Yeah. And do you know what? I need to find my way to a wrestling event as well.
I'm telling you, go to SummerSlam.
I'm trying. If I can get tickets, I will. I mean, I'm there at the same weekend. It should be good, provided I get there. If not, I'm going to stand outside the event crying. And no one likes a crying, sobbing.
Oh, yeah, the people will really think you are the Big Show.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'll put on an nappy too, and I'll have like a trumpet, and it'll be New Year all
Just
over
wear
again.
just wear like a little singlet. It'll be great. It'll be hot enough.
It's not going to be a
No.
little singlet if I'm wearing
No,
it. Trust me.
no, Craig, you need to go in a KO t-shirt.
No.
Seriously, that, yeah.
I would just like to say, my friends that I was with on Saturday when we went to the house show wore a Kevin Owens shirt, and little children were threatening his life
Oh, awesome! I'm
just
so
from
wearing
walking
one.
into the arena.
Really?
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great.
Wow.
I love when little kids get angry.
Wow.
That's some little kids in the backhand.
I love it. I love like pissing little kids off at shows. I really do. It's like my like life goal when I go to shows is to piss off little children.
Just at
It's
house
like
shows?
being with the Grinch at Christmas.
Hey, and I'm still the real life heel.
Yeah, huh? I kind of feel like Chris just kind of like took some kind of swerve towards being a babyface.
Ah, fuck Roman Reigns. There we go.
There you go. Fuck Roman Reigns and all his fans. That's what. There you go. Now Chris is back in good standing.
Wow.
All
You
right,
guys
just-
hurt my feelings.
Do we have time to talk about Rolling Stone trying to talk wrestling?
We spoke
We
a
already
little
have.
about
We already
it, but
have.
we'll go over it again quickly. We got time. I just want to say as well, I've just been told that I lose man points for being a Scotsman if I cry. I'm not sure what you think Scotsmen are, but your stereotype is awful. We
Yeah,
are
but-
sentimental people with pickaxes and axes, and we're like lumberjacks with skirts.
Yeah.
And we
That's
chase
pretty
haggis. Haggis are real.
Oh my God, are you gonna wear a kilt when you come to America?
Oh my fuck. They are so expensive and they're so heavy, it would actually add on to my luggage costs.
Well,
You totally should do it.
you're in luck, friend, because I happen to own one.
Do you actually?
I do.
That's kind of cool.
For my sister's
Why?
wedding. For my sister's wedding, all the guys wore kilts because
Guys?
There you go,
her-
perfect.
yeah, because her ex-husband is from Scottish descent. So yeah,
Apparently, it's just come out that there are the WrestleMania 32 main event has been decided, sort of thing.
It's almost SummerSlam.
Sting versus Taker is not happening next year.
Oh, thank God.
Cena's
I
match.
thought bullshit.
Cena's match is a lock, but we don't know who with. The Rock and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
If that happens.
Yeah. There are several factors in trinos. Yeah. Daniel Bryan is not figured into the plans at all because there's still
Good.
no word if he is even able to wrestle, which is fair enough.
Makes sense.
Anyway, Paul, Rolling Stone, go ahead.
Oh yes, Rolling Stone. Now then, they know as little about pro wrestling as they do about music. Naming Kevin Owens their WWE Superstar of the Half Year. What is wrong with these people? I mean, have they not watched? They must have only watched for the past 2 months.
I completely agreed with them though. I'd have said
How?
Owens. I'd have said Owens at the top and Cena at number 2.
How? I wouldn't even have him in my top 5.
No.
He's not even on my top 5. It goes Cena, Reigns, Lesnar, Rollins, Ambrose.
Reigns isn't in my top 5.
No. Lesnar shouldn't even be anywhere near any list.
Yeah, but he's still money.
I'd just like to point out, you say Lesnar shouldn't be. Lesnar told a story using one move at SummerSlam.
Yeah, he's still money.
I don't know.
Whether you like him or not, see, this is why I'm not a fan of anybody's, so I can be completely objectionable.
Listen, I've said it once, and I've said it a million times on my show. I don't hate Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
I don't hate Brock Lesnar. I don't. But what I hate is Brock Lesnar as a part-timer coming back for the belt. That's what I hate. If he was to just come back and fight for, whatever, I wouldn't care. But the fact that it's for the title is what pisses me off. Because what makes him so fucking special that he can just come back and win the belt, and then we don't see the title for 3 months at a time? That's what I have a problem with.
Because since the belt has been reforged into the one belt, the only person it's looked good on is Brock. And that's simply because he's the only person who looks, I don't mean the way that he's booked, I mean physically looks like he could rip anybody in half.
I do agree with you there. I do agree with you. If you look at Brock, he's a friggin' beast. He is literally the beast incarnate. He is a huge dude, and he comes in and he fucks people up. But then be a full-time wrestler then. Don't come in once a month, twice a month, coming in and, starting shit. Fucking be on the roster the whole time.
Andrea, let me ask you a question. You get paid, let's say you got paid $70,000 to come in every single day.
Yeah, I already know where this is going. I already know where this is going. You're gonna ask me if I had a chance to get full part-time pay on a full-time. Yes, I get it. I'm not mad at Brock for that. I'm not mad at that. I would shit. Trust me. If my job came up to me and said, "I'm gonna pay you full-time salary for part-time work," you're damn right I'm gonna take it. But that doesn't mean that it's okay. And what about the superstars that travel 320 days a year? Fuck them.
No, they get to be promoted as day-to-day wrestlers, pro wrestlers who are doing house shows. The only reason Brock works
because that's what I say to them.
But Brock is like the biggest star at the moment, sadly. I mean, we say he's part-time, and he is. But being part-time makes him a spectacle, and that's exactly what he is. Do I think they should put the belt on him? Only if he's going to do more appearances.
Well, he's supposed to be, rumor has it that he's supposed to be booked for, the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, and I'm quite happy to put the belt on him, personally.
And that's the thing, though. If he was to come back and, actually show up, he doesn't even have to do house shows. I'm not saying he has to travel and do house shows, but show up on Raw every week. You got this big match with Rollins coming up at friggin' Battleground. Show up. But when he was champion, he wasn't on Raw for 3 months. Oh, where's our champion? I forgot what the goddamn belt looks like.
I was saying keep the belt on him until his contract runs out. That was me.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I just cannot stand Brock Lesnar with the belt or going after the title. You're not going to change my opinion. I'm sorry.
I have a mystery life now.
And yet, considering where it's gone from Lesnar having it to Rollins having it, it's stepped down.
Well, it's the booking. That's what that is.
It's not the booking. It just isn't the same.
It really is the booking. Like 1 week they'll have Seth Rollins look like a monster, and then the next week, he's the biggest chicken shit babyface, the biggest chicken heel.
To quote Mike Hayes, the belt doesn't make the man makes the belt, and Brock Lesnar is the only man who can make the belt what it should be.
Well, not on that roster, no.
No. Not until
Am I on?
Hi, Stacy.
Hey.
It's about time.
Hi.
I was gonna say we'll end the show there, but let's do half an hour just so
Oh, and
Stacey
now-
gets to talk to.
I show up and like, peace out.
Bye.
Oh, my life is complete now.
Oh my God, Chris actually did leave. Wow.
and
Hey,
Chris left.
everybody. And I'm like, what's going on?
That's
Okay,
My co-host, ladies and gentlemen, there she is.
so
Right.
we now have the full Just Saying Girls. Girls, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to give yourself a complete plug, and then I'm gonna plug the app. So go
Oh
for
my
it.
God. Andrea, do it.
Well, hi. This is Andrea. No, I'm kidding. So you can listen to us on Mondays after Raw. Well, usually by the time Paul uploads it, it's on Tuesday. And you can listen to us either on Spreaker or when Paul decides he wants to put us on the Levels of Wrestling app or on
It's
Podbean.
usually Tuesday morning. Don't make me sound like a fucking slut.
It's usually Tuesday morning, but that's okay.
Just 'cause I've
And
forgotten once or twice.
we do our show on pay-per-view Sundays, and we'll skip it that Monday so we can have our friend Kevin on. You can follow us at just saying _ANS on the Twitter and on Facebook at www.facebook.com/justsayingpodcast. The Just Saying has no G, just so you know. And bam.
That was a pretty.
And I
strong
like
plug.
long walks on the beach.
Wow. This isn't quite a dating agency, but we'll set that up if you want.
It can be. Don't worry. There's no limit to what the Levels of Wrestling can do. So.
Do you remember that time we became the gentle lovers of wrestling?
I am not a superficial lady. You can just buy me some wine and wrestling tickets, and I am Gooch.
Well, so that was easy.
Basically.
I'm coming in August, so. Nah, I'm kidding.
No, he's not.
Shut up, Paul. Guys, like I said, the Just Saying Girls have just told you can get them over on Twitter. Alternatively, you can head to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. You can speak to ourselves. You can hear Minds of Carnage, Ringside Ramblers, Wrestle Addicts, and the Just Saying Girls. And then, of course, you can head over to the Google Play Store. You head and type in Levels of Wrestling, all one word. Download the free Android app. Get all of the articles that we've done, all the blogs that we've had from the past. Go back, do some reading, see what we predicted, and actually see if it came true. And then you can hear all of our podcasts on the go.
Ooh.
Complain.
Hashtag Apple Stocks.
Oh, now we're on iTunes, so stop it.
Oh, whoa, I missed that memo.
Well, the app isn't, but I mean, you can listen to our podcast on the.
If
the
you
Apple
can't
Podcast.
download the app, then screw
No.
it. Hashtag Apple.
Just saying.
We're no way affiliated with Just Saying Apple. Please don't sue us. I would like our stuff to be on iTunes. Please support us, iTunes.
It's
Sponsorship.
on there.
Yada yada.
But it costs money to do the app on iTunes, right? Or some
Yeah,
shit
it
like
costs
that.
$100. I think it's $150, and that's just to get the
Damn.
licensing for it.
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
Apple acts like they're fucking broke. What is wrong with them?
Right?
Apple act like
that's-
Vince McMahon asking for $10.
Jeez.
Amen.
We're gonna do a Kickstarter for
WWE should start paying us.
I was
I'm gonna start
genuinely,
claiming them on my taxes.
I genuinely considered doing a Kickstarter to get Levels of Wrestling to WrestleMania. I didn't figure people would pay though. So
no.
why pay for
I
you
would,
to get there when you could pay for me to get there?
I would pay.
I'm up for that.
Touched.
I would-
Hey, I'm good. I'm hoping to go anyway, so it'll all be good.
Only if you wear the kilt though.
Do you know? I feel really bad because you've mentioned kilts, and I've had people tweet me like, "Hey, you have to wear a kilt when you come here," and I'm like, I don't own
You're
a kilt.
welcome.
And Paul's
Just
kilt
make sure
won't
you
fit me.
just shave your legs and get a nice tan. You'll be good.
Whoa! You don't shave your legs in a kilt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, why not?
Come on, silly. Jeez, you gotta be manly
Duh.
and wear a kilt. You can't be having hairless legs. What's wrong with you?
You gotta have
Oh,
nice,
goodness.
silky, smooth legs.
No.
See, this is the issue here. This is what happens when you watch too much wrestling. Not all guys are smooth. No.
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 Well, they should be.
No.
Okay, well then you want small teenage boys, and that's wrong.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. It's wrong. You've been warned.
We here at Just Saying Podcast do not endorse.
Pedophilia.
Exactly.
I could feel that she wanted to say it, but didn't quite know how.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I gonna get bleeped or what?
No.
What's gonna happen?
No, we ain't bleeping you. We don't bleep anything.
Okay, good. Good. Because if you've listened to our show, then we'd be like, we'd be a little Wayne song, bleep, 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 every 2 seconds.
All right, guys, let's do a little bit of word association before we get to the end of the show. I'm gonna say a word or a wrestler, and then you guys are gonna go in the order of Drea, Stacy, Paul, and I want to hear your opinions. So we'll start with Drew McIntyre. Yeah, cool. Stacy?
Perfect answer.
I can't be put on the spot.
Well, this is going to be a
You're gonna
really
want us
interesting
ahead of
segment.
time. You're gonna want us ahead of time for this one.
I wasn't ready. All right, go ahead, Stacey. You go.
No, now what were we doing again? You had me lost there for a second.
Opinions. Say your opinions. It's like quick fire. You got to say what you feel about that person. So Drew McIntyre.
Listen, I am naturally a blonde. You can't be like just throwing things out here at me.
Oh, we can tell.
I do McIntyre. I miss him.
Okay, Paul, Drew Mac.
Drew McIntyre, best thing that's happened to him was getting away from WWE.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Kevin
He's
Owens.
killing it on the indies.
Drea, Kevin Owens.
Quickly becoming in my top 5.
Stacey.
I have to agree because just because he's a badass and he plays that character so well.
Cool. Paul.
Certainly the most overrated guy on the roster.
I knew you were going to say that.
Ooh.
Okay, John Cena.
Uh-oh.
Sucks. Sorry.
I can't
Okay.
boom. I'm not like I'm not gonna boo him.
Although I will say I have been impressed with his matches against Owens. I will say I will give credit where credit's due, but still not a fan.
Okay. Paul.
Top 5 worker in the world and WWE's MVP of the first half of 2015.
You just suck his balls while you're at it, Paul.
Hey, I'm not a fan, but I acknowledge that he is good.
All right.
Does he shave them for you?
Does he shave them for me? Well, if I was a Make-A-Wish kid, that would be my wish. There it is, Make-A-Wish. I would like John Cena to come shave my balls.
Oh my god.
Wow. I hope they were listening, because.
So, if anybody can make that happen, I'd say shave my face.
Okay.
Clearly, Paul is the pillow biter.
Okay. Chris.
I'm a power bottom. Leave me alone.
Okay, Drea, opinion of Chris, because he's liked it.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Chris, what's your opinion of Chris? He's liked it. So
Like
let's
our
go for
Chris?
Yeah, like our Chris.
Like our Chris?
Yeah.
Lovely accent.
I love that you said the nicest thing you could.
It is nice.
Stacey, Chris.
But
That was my favorite.
I just got on 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
Next question.
Paul.
He has a lovely accent.
Okay.
Copycat.
Okay, let's try this one. Stone Cold.
Paul,
Steve
get your own gimmick.
My gimmick is steal other people's gimmicks.
Who'd you say, Stone Cold?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He's all right. I don't really know. He's okay. I mean,
I like that guy. I heard of him.
He's all right. I mean, I respect for. Shut up. I respect him for like what he's done back in the day, but you know he's okay.
Austin fan. I definitely was an Austin fan.
Good. I'm so glad someone was, because that was going to end badly.
I never said I wasn't a fan.
I could have gone postal on my own podcast team. That would have been bad.
I never said I wasn't a fan. I said he was okay, and I respect him for what he did back in the day.
But I don't really like him. Might as well keep going.
He was okay. When he used to drink beers and stuff. Beat up on his boss. That was pretty cool.
Did you just say beers in like a dusty voice?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he was okay.
Okay, I'm still kind of shocked.
I
he's all right.
I loved Stone Cold back in the day. I mean, seriously, like who hasn't wanted to beat the shit out of their boss? And he got
True.
to do it. And then
Every day of my fucking life.
And then he got to drink beer on the job. I mean, he was the modern day Dusty Rhodes. He was the American dream. We got to live vicariously through him. He was one of us.
One of us. One of us. Guys, if you've got a vibrator on, turn it off. That's really loud.
Sorry, that was me.
Wow, turn that off. You're on air.
Sorry.
Oh my God! All I'm seeing is your hands.
Okay,
wow.
wait. Okay, I think I fixed it.
You have really long fingernails.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go, what would you set as the WrestleMania 32 main event?
Do you want to
probably.
or do you want a fantasy answer?
What? I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Word you said.
Nope.
A real answer or a fantasy answer?
Oh, real.
Both.
They don't want to hear our fantasy answers.
No, we don't, because I've got a funny feeling that ends up with like the Shield naked. So let's not do that.
Basically.
If I all right, let me see. I would probably do. I mean, honestly, I would probably have Roman Rollins and Ambrose in a three-way for the title. Not in a three-way, but for the title.
Yep.
A triple threat for the
I actually
title.
thought that was agree with that. It's a very exciting match. I'll be there to see it.
Wow, okay. I'm trying my best not to make a dirty joke out of the three-way thing. Paul,
Just do it. Just say it.
We can't, we're a PG show. Well, that was too gentle. I realized I said that gently now.
What? Hold on.
I know, that was really seductive. Wow.
Wow,
Hold on. I am pretty much, you know what, you and Kurt, you guys are usually pretty good on this show. I'm usually the reason there's an explicit tag, so. Yeah, we are not PG. Because
that's what happens when the Just Saying girls come about. It just turns into a friggin' free for all. Sorry, guys.
Trash. We're like truckers.
Sorry, guys.
No, don't worry.
We're like
we're not PG, so.
Yeah, no, we're more like TV 14, but if that.
I think we're rated like X.
Yeah, that's probably why you guys have so many listens, though. Paul, what's your main event?
I share the same sentiment as everyone else. The Shield triple threat, them in a three-way, them in a triple threat, them in a circle jerk. It doesn't matter. Just those
Human
three.
Centipede.
It's all about the Dutch rudder.
A human centipede, that's fine. Just as long as it's for the belt and it's the main event.
I'm all up for centipede.
I would love me a Shield triple threat centipede, human whatever.
Hold on. If they are human centipede, who's in the middle? I'm going with Seth.
Are we really asking this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying Seth.
Okay, so if I had to pick who's in the middle, I would probably put Roman in the middle.
Of the centipedes, so that means.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna go Dean, Roman, Rollins.
So Roman is both eating shit and shitting in Seth's mouth.
Basically.
Sorry, Boo Boo. I'm so sorry, Roman.
That's like the worst position.
I'm sorry.
It's terrible.
I'll make it up to him. It's all good.
How?
That just.
There's no way you can make that up to someone after being in that situation.
Yeah, there's no making it up.
Through their head.
Oh, there is. Oh, there is.
It's permanent.
No. Honest answer goes Roman Seth Dean, but.
Yes, that's what I was going with.
Wow.
You're putting Seth in the middle?
How
Yes,
dare
absolutely.
you put the champ in the middle?
He
Listen, that's
turned
my
on-
boy right there.
He turned on his brothers, though. That's where he deserves to be. It's still real.
Good,
deal.
he's a
Bigger and better
badass.
things. He
Seth's
turned
the
on to him for
badass?
bigger and better things.
Wait, did you say Seth's the badass? Seth's a chicken
He is
shit.
a badass. You leave him alone.
He gave
No,
a car to J&J Security, and he gave Kane a
Yeah.
watch and a holiday. He's a chicken shit heel.
Yeah. Who gives Kane
They
anything?
make real heels
Aaron.
like that, though.
Aaron gives Kane stuff.
I'm appalled.
Aaron gives Kane lots of things.
Oh, yeah.
I am appalled.
No,
I'm
no,
very
no, you're
disappointed
Andrea.
in you, boy.
It's a Paul.
Hey,
Yeah, I
we
got away
call
with
him
Listen.
as we sees him.
We do call
Very
him as we see him.
disappointed.
And that's what one of our fans actually told us today. They appreciate all the Levels of Wrestling shows because we actually talk kind of realistic on what's going on and how we appreciate that it's okay to have a laugh and it's okay to fantasy book, but sometimes we just kind of call it as we see it, and that's better than what some other shows do apparently. So thank you to that fan. You know who you are.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
Guys, this has
We're
been
entertaining and insightful and occasionally sexy.
Oh,
Exactly. I'm always sexy, so I don't know.
apparently, if I sit really close to my microphone, this is how I'm going to podcast from now on. I'm just gonna say things
Ooh,
like,
Craig. Woo.
It's too early for podcast orgy.
I feel like I should be paying to listen into this right now.
Seriously, if you're willing to pay, I will take that. I need the cash.
50 cents a minute?
Yeah,
Oh,
he'll repay you when he sees you.
This is like a larger hole that people are just digging for me. Guys, we have been the Levels of Wrestling. We've been joined tonight by the girls from Just Saying. You can hear both of us over at levelsofwrestling.podbean.com along with the Wrestle Addicts, Mind of Carnage, and Ringside Ramblers. Don't forget as well, you can get our app over on the Levels on the Google Store. Search Levels of Wrestling. That was almost difficult to say. Don't forget as well, tomorrow night we've got Breakdown. We're still not sure of what the topic's going to be, so if anything you fancy sending in, go ahead, we'll talk about it. And don't forget as well, coming up next week, we've got our 1 year anniversary show with Gunnar, former TNA employee, possibly one of the hottest commodities on the indie circuit at the moment. We're going to have all the questions for him next week. He's going to join us for the show. It's going to be a blast. And don't forget, you can hear Just Saying on Monday night as well. Is anyone got any final words?
Or whenever Paul decides to put it up on the app because he's a fucking lazy ass would forget shit. There.
I never said that.
I said it.
Drea, how did you throw your voice like that?
What?
How did you throw your voice like that? You sounded just like Paul.
That was good.
Guys, this has been Lowdown. Please remember, stay on the level. Thank you. We love you. Good night.